think the innovation comes in looking at our audience and the needs of our students, many of which are learning English as a second, third or fourth language. And so that's where the innovation takes hold for us, and how we can attack a already visited topic in a new way for our audience.
Well, I guess the innovation started back 2 years ago when I organised the biggest morning tea with my class for raising money for the Cancer Council. I asked Anita, who is our manager here, if she could be a guest speaker.
Because she knew that I had actually been diagnosed with breast cancer in 2009, and she was keen for me to speak at the morning tea about raising awareness with the students. And I stood up and spoke to the group about my story. It was a good starting point. I was able to actually reflect back on my journey. I would have to say that stories are pivotal in adult learning. It's about sharing with others to understand and to better understand ourselves. That really resonated with them. And it was interesting that students then came up and spoke with me and spoke about stories of their own family members who had experienced something similar. And it was a really positive experience for me.
After the event, I asked the students what she talked about, and they remembered everything, you know. And in fact, some of my students were really keen to get a breast screen done as well. And then I got an email from the Cancer Council to say there were some grants available for people from non-English speaking background to promote the message of cancer prevention. And I said, how about we do a reader based on your story? And so that's how it all started. And once we got 100 copies of the reader completed, which, you know, it took a lot of steps. We had to edit it. I got a lot of teachers involved to have a look at it. How would they use it in their classroom? We also had a focus group to read the reader and students to give us feedback as well. And of course, teachers were saying, oh, I'd love to use it and I want to use it, but is there any activities, any resources to use with the reader? And I said, well, maybe that's the next grant. So we applied for the next grant and we were very successful with that as well.
And I think particularly for our English language learners, there are limited resources in terms of healthcare that's actually available to them. So I see this resource as being absolutely fantastic and pivotal to that storytelling. And I know that the resource has had a life of its own, and students here have used it, and they've even come up with a song, so the story continues, which is fantastic. But certainly I've been really pleased to be able to be part of that storytelling.
The project has given us terrific insight into the process of applying for grants. It's given us insight into the process of organising such a complicated and I guess engaging, you know, resource that involves a number of people. So it's quite multifaceted, I guess. So I think one of the things to consider is it's not a small thing when you embark on a project, and as many people involved with as many skills as possible would be really helpful.